I'm left with nothing but regret. He just killed the king, and I'm the one who made the fatal mistake. My eyes lock onto Donga's, and I see guilt and sadness etched on his face. The ground beneath me shifts as his eyes bore into mine. The air is thick with tension, and my heart pounds in my chest like a ticking time bomb. I demand the truth, but he just looks away, leaving me with a million questions. What's going on? The silence is deafening. A faint image of the server room flickers in my mind, and I'm met with a chilling thought. Check out what? The uncertainty is suffocating me. The server is down, and our entire operation hangs by a thread. Rush, get everyone together. It's not over yet, but it's too late. The users are furious, and we're facing a disaster that threatens to destroy everything. I'm the one who made the fatal mistake, and the weight of my responsibility is crushing me. Mange.0 I quit. I tour in HM. A single phrase cuts deep, and I'm left questioning everything. We're done getting ready for Wings reopening, but I feel like I've failed. Are you sure about this, Donga? The uncertainty is killing me. I won against them somehow, but there's no place for me there anymore, and I'm left with nothing but regret. Sorry. The word feels hollow, and I'm left wondering what could have been. We told the users that we'd applied a new AI technology. Mange.0, we did manage to appease them a bit. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. Mange.0, thanks Bali Moon for the job offer. Clap clap clap, who knew you'd get a job offer from 3 top game companies? Anyway, why did you want to catch up? No, to discuss something important. Mange.0, with an unparalleled operation system. The game Wings Online no longer needs a world AI. But an AI in charge of all overall management is still necessary. Oasis was in charge of the game's development for the past 5 years. And even has Mange.0 as a player. There's no AI like Oasis. 6 months ago, something changed in Chernow. So please listen carefully. This is Mange.0, not Manage.or. You should be talking to the real Mange.0. Ask Mange yourself. Oasis is back, and Mange.0 looks great. Tada, a masterclass in design. Nervous, Mange.0. Mange.0. Tage, thank you. Are you ready? Ngaxo, yes. I restored the data link with Napalm. And I have full access, but I'm not allowed to come here again.Enge.0, Master. There's something I want to ask. Master, I have something to ask. For you? Let's put it this way. Manhwa.org, when I reached emptiness at the end of it, I realized my problem. It's true that I was being stubborn. Mange.0, because a game isn't made alone. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. Mange.0 grows up, leaving his past behind. You grew up. Memories of Oasis linger, a bittersweet taste. Mange.0 is now a man, strong and free. Oh, and Master. EWH, a painful reminder. Tay.0, a fleeting thought. What if? Wings Online, a distant hum, a call to duty. And Napalm returns me to you, a twist of fate. The past and present collide. A storm brews. Mange.0. Will you still accept me as your support AI? H&H, of course I will. A reassuring promise. D-Pat, a hint of doubt. A crack in the wall. Promise? The weight of commitment settles in. The stakes are high, the risk of failure real. Mangair, a name that echoes through time. It's been fun, Master, a bittersweet goodbye. The parting words cut deep, a wound that won't heal. Mangaderg, a final farewell, a door closes. Take care of yourself, Oasis, a plea from the heart. Words of encouragement, a lifeline in the darkness. Mangay dot or a lingering thought, a memory that refuses to fade. The silence is deafening. A heavy weight presses down. You're going to miss your flight, Minchiol, a ticking clock. Just what was so important that you... Forget it, we have to go. The moment of truth arrives. The clock strikes, the door slams shut, and the adventure begins. Temple Scanner killed the king, and the community was left reeling from the shocking betrayal. The truth was finally revealed. Temple Scanner's true identity exposed, shattering the trust of his followers. A legendary figure, feared by all, emerged from the shadows. Temple Scanner stood frozen, facing off against the garbage truck, his fate hanging in the balance. The garbage truck's trash-filled mouth gaped open, ready to devour Temple Scanner whole, the outcome uncertain. Y'all's eyes narrowed, sensing a trap, as the garbage truck's massive body loomed over them, casting a long shadow. The air was electric with tension as Temple Scanner's words hung in the air, a promise of a fierce battle. If you know me, you know I won't back down from a fight, but y'all's determination was put to the test. Temple Scanner's face set in a fierce determination. The battle began, and the outcome hung in the balance. Y'all took a deep breath, ready to face his fears, but the garbage truck's true power remained a mystery. Y'all's eyes locked onto the garbage truck, a fierce intensity burning within, as the battle raged on. Y'all's eyes widened in shock as he realized the true extent of the garbage truck's power, his fate hanging in the balance. The garbage truck's massive fist came crashing down, ready to crush Temple Scanner, the outcome uncertain. Know him? Wanting to meet me for a while now, I asked Akasato to share my location, setting the stage for a new alliance. Won't it be difficult for him to take on two people by himself? Watch closely, Oasis, as the battle rages on. 1 Alalfa. The garbage truck's massive body seemed to be shifting, its true form a mystery waiting to be uncovered. Grizzly's plan is to revive in the village first, but someone has other ideas. The truth is about to be revealed. Layman, what's your plan? Revive that bastard. I have to kill him another times. The cycle of revenge continues. Wait, stop, let's talk this through. Is Grizzly ready to listen? If you remember what you did during the season finale, the truth is hard to swallow. Alright, I remember. The competition was fierce. You lost by a narrow margin to Eren, and the glory went to him. You were forgotten as the loser, but why? Because of you, y'all, you knew something was off. If you had acknowledged Eren's cheats, things might have been different. The game was rigged from the start. That's why I've been killing every user I came across. That means it's a game, Kane. What? A game? The truth is more shocking than you think. Really? Master is dead. Like Manga's world is shattered. Betrayal. Tiamat, Master's closest friend, was secretly working against him. The truth behind Master's death is shocking. Tiamat, the one who made Master's resurrection impossible. His betrayal is complete. Like Manga's spirit fades away, consumed by darkness. His last breath whispers a haunting question. Why, Tiamat? The silence is deafening. Like Manga's spirit calls out for help, but no one responds. His world is ending. Resurrection is the only hope, but it's too late. Like Manga's time is running out. His spirit is trapped, unable to escape. A desperate cry echoes through the void. Someone, please. The darkness closes in. A mysterious voice whispers in Like Manga's ear. Gaia is coming. But is it a warning or a warning sign? Gaia's words are laced with deceit. The truth is hidden behind a veil of lies. Remember this future, like manga, a future that can be changed. But at what cost? The dark god's resurrection is near, and the world will be forever changed. A mysterious power is bestowed upon like manga, to prepare for the dark god's return. But will it be enough? A glowing aura surrounds like manga. A new power is awakened within, one that could save the world, or destroy it. The fate of the world hangs in the balance. A warrior's cry echoes through the void. Warrior, please, save me from destruction. The darkness closes in. Like manga's fate is sealed. OCR Oasis? A tranquil escape from the chaos of the world. OCR Oasis Master. I'll be back after I upgrade my class. But for now he's leaving. Sunrise. The darkness stirs, sensing his departure. OCR Ash, the remnants of a fallen kingdom. OCR like manga. Will you activate the 4th class upgrade? The star of darkness beckons. But at what cost? Osurtis is a menacing hiss. A warning to those who dare. Osir, show some respect. The star of darkness demands fealty. OCR, that's the star of darkness. Lord Crow. A being of immense power, feared by all. OCR. He will regain his full strength. The world trembles at the thought. OCR like manga. I kneel, a show of submission, or a desperate plea. OCR to the darkness calls. A siren's song. OCR clang, the sound of steel on steel. A clash of wills. OCR HSV1S. A cryptic message. A hidden meaning. OCR bastards. You aren't getting past me. A warrior's cry, a battle cry. OCR like manga. To the first Prince Needhog, a legendary hero, or a doomed soul. OCR Unk Clunk, the sound of machinery. A ominous portent. The silence is deafening. OCR like manga. A declaration, a statement of purpose. OCR Da, a single word. A world of meaning. Or Clunk Clunk, the sound of gears turning. A machine awakening. OCR go back to the darkness of the abyss. They're brutally slaughtered by the merciless enemy they never saw coming. Their world, once strong and free, now lies in ruins. I created an enemy just like that, one that's flawless and unbeatable. Their worst fears are realized as they face their greatest foe. They're about to find out in a brutal, merciless battle. Their fate is sealed, and it's a warning to all who dare challenge the enemy. Snow White's tragic story is a reminder of their own mortality, forever trapped in a living hell, with no escape from their darkest fears. Their screams echo through the void as they succumb to the enemy's wrath. But just when they think it's over, the true horror begins. The enemy's next move will be their last, and it's a fate worse than death. The final blow is struck, and their world is reduced to ashes. And as the dust settles, a new enemy emerges, one that will push them to the brink of madness. Cliffhanger teaser. I'm your partner, but I know your secret. Wait, what? You've been lying to me the whole time. I heard you whispering to him last night. The one who stole our project. You're in on it with him, aren't you? I want in. What? Hold on a second. You can't join him. It's too dangerous. It's just a virtual world. It's not like I'm going to die. My life was just about over 3 years ago when you saved me. So I vowed someday I'd make it back. You don't have to pay me for this job. I want to join you. I'm going to pay you for hacking their system. But if you want to help me aside from that, I was looking for partners in crime anyway. Yippee! I thank you. Shrimp, you won't regret this. But there's a test. What is it? I have a feeling it's not going to be easy. What? A test? It's for the people I want to recruit. They're holed up inside their personal space. You know as well as I do that's a private space. And the security is tight. Can you get in? I'll try. So you want me to hack the game itself? It'll be like stealing candy from a baby. I've got a plan. I've been working on a new piece for my puzzle. Why, of course, I've worked so hard on it. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. Like manga. I wish someone's been snooping around. WHWHWHWH. WHWHWH, who are you? The tone is getting frantic. Step, how did you get into my home? Intruder alert. So you've collected samples of all the different monsters' debuff skills? This research is extensive. You. The person's voice is trembling. Like manga.to, you recognize my research. The game's coders just got a major surprise. The stakes are rising. The tension is building. Ike manga.I've collected a Loftheminster's debuff skills in the game. This is a game changer. Isn't it amazing? 0008, but at what cost? The mystery deepens. Like manga. When objects are infected with an infectious debuff. This is a dark twist. Walt? No. The horror is setting in. Like manga, yes. Wish it's happening. The anticipation is killing us. The moment of truth is near. Slimes are called imlnislimes. Glup glup, it's a monster within. Like manga.t, they're imline to all kinds of status effects. But that's not all. But that just means they aren't affected by them. They can still have the status effect in and of. It's a clever loophole. It's like manga. And the status effect lasts forever. Musparaverse effect of the immunity. This is a recipe for disaster. So I use guys. Wish bleg. Wish the coding is flawed. The consequences are dire. Glup, the monster is unleashed. Chaos erupts as the king is assassinated. The entire kingdom is plunged into darkness. The simplest solution to the debuff lies in plain sight. A debuff neutralizer. A group of kind-hearted players emerges, ready to save the day. But what's their true motive? They're helping the noobs one by one, but their actions seem suspicious. What's really going on? In the noob zone, players are trapped with no escape except for one thing. These potions are expensive, but not as pricey as the greed that's taking over the game. The prices of the potions skyrocket, gold, and climbing. Players are falling over themselves to buy and resell the potions, desperate to get rich. What happens next is even more shocking. The players who gave out free potions are being attacked. Their actions are seen as a threat to the economy, and the prices of the potions continue to rise. The players who gave out free potions are being hunted down, seen as enemies of the game. The game's creator watches with a mixture of fascination and horror as the player's true nature is revealed. His hypothesis is proven correct. Humans will only help others when it benefits them. And in the end, only the strongest survived, but at what moral cost? But wait, what's this? A new player has entered the game, with a shocking revelation that could change everything. The players are about to find out that the game is not just a game, but a reflection of their own darkest nature. And in the end, only one thing is certain. The game will continue to push the players to their limits. But wait, what's this? A new player has entered the game, with a shocking revelation that could change everything. The king is dead. His kingdom teeters on the brink of collapse. But why? The truth is far more sinister than anyone dared imagine. They sought power, wealth, and control. The cost? A nation's future. Yet, just as all hope seemed lost, a new figure appears shrouded in mystery. The kingdom of Bethellos lies in ruins, consumed by flames and the remnants of the Nightag's relentless assault. "Let's go kick some demon butt," the hero exclaims. But the old man's grim expression suggests a far more treacherous journey ahead. The dungeon's danger level is extremely high, and the hero's voice trembles as he utters, "No, it can't be." The hero's expression contorts in agony as they realize the terrible cost of their actions. "We defeated Crow, but at what price? The curse has claimed them," and the hero's voice is laced with regret as they whisper, "I called on the goddess's power, but it's too late." The hero's body begins to flicker. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. She's a doll, shackled by destiny, a prisoner of her own fate. Like Myga, my head is about to explode. Kill all three of us and maybe you'll have a chance to escape. That's the only way to stop Crow, the force that binds us all. I won't let that happen. Mwahahaha. It's no use, you're already mine. Now get on your knees and receive the peace I offer. Everyone, bow your heads. Prepare for battle. It's going to be a long night. So this is the one thing that can kill Crow. Like manga, do we have to return to the starting point? No, we don't have to go back. Yo, Knight of Dominion. It's time to face your destiny. Like manga, let's see how you fare. Tep. Step. Like manga, who's the real god here? Blasphemer. Blasphemy. I created Crow and I'll destroy him too. I even motion captured some of his moves myself. Rise, my puppets, and take your revenge. HSH. Like manga, bring me that arrogant mortal's head. Okay, then, I suppose we gotta figure out how to get through this. Huh? Like manga, I have a plan. It was. Like manga.to, let's do this. Quoosh. Old man, shouldn't we be doing something to help? Like manga, I'm not sure. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. Creator's wrath is rising. But what if they resist? We'll only get in his way. Blazing with anger now. Obtained power beyond your dreams. How dare you attack your creator? It's a forbidden act. The consequences will be severe. The very laws are being broken. Master, you're going down. The world trembles in fear now. Your creation will destroy you.